Hi, I'm Sherry and welcome back to the channel, Sherry Jones Designs. Thank you so much guys and everybody for watching and liking and sharing my videos. You all have made such a difference, and for all the kind comments, and you gave me such good ideas. I appreciate every one of them. And today it is a rainy day and I have the day off. I'm not working today. So I thought, you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to make a video. And I've had this fun idea for a while and I'm going to share it with you guys, where I'm going to take two shirts that are similar in size and we're going to make an upcycled top, something that's going to be really comfortable and really cute. And I think would also be like appreciated by several generations. I think younger people would also like the style. And you can use you should be able to use any two shirts. It could be long sleeve, it could be hoodies, it could be, you know, as long as they're similar in size, across from here to here, across the waist. And I think this is going to be a very quick upcycle. I think you could do it in an hour to 2 hours. Even if you're not super experienced with upcycling, I think it's going to be something that you're going to appreciate and be able to, it'd be a good beginner project as well. So with that said, we'll get started in our project and see what we can do. This one should fit me when I'm done. I noticed right away, I always try to do an inspection, but it has stains on the front. I can see it looks like a little bit of food, maybe stains. This is a shirt that somebody gave to me, along with some other clothing. And I'm just going to make me something that I would like to wear. So the first thing you're going to do is decide how far down you want, because it's going to have wings that kind of drop down like this. I don't know how to explain it. They're going to kind of come down like this, because what we're going to do is we're going to come up to the height. I'm going to start cut here in the middle. I'm going to come up and then I'm going to cut over just to my side seams. And that's going to create, we'll flip that out and that'll create the wing that'll drop down for the back side. And then we're going to use, and you could use another, instead of another shirt, you could use a piece of fabric or something for the front part that's going to drop down. But I've decided to use a shirt that's the same or close to the same width. It's better if your second shirt isn't exactly as wide. It's better that it would be not as wide so that your back wing would be longer than your front one, if that makes sense. I'll show you as we go along here. And I'm not going to cut the whole thing, but I'm going to mark where I want the wings to drop. And you could try it on, but I don't want it directly up here. I kind of want it somewhere here. Over your bust line, you're going to measure down from the top center to where you want it to go, where you want this to start dropping. And I'm going to, about here's where I want. I'm going to transfer that to my shirt. The top center will be this top center seam up here. I usually go about in the middle. Okay, after my second measurement, I think I'd rather have 13. Somewhere around 13. That's kind of where I want it to be. Now, we're not just going to slice the whole thing off. I'm going to make sure here I'm using my, if you don't have one of these, just measure down like you would measure down. I can see I'm at 4-inch drop, and you go over here and measure 4 inches, make a mark, and then we're going to just mark it straight across. I'm just going to verify that I've got it straight across here, like that. Because we're only going to cut the front side of this. And then I'm going to guesstimate. Guesstimate is a professional term. It's got little stains here and there, but I'm not too worried about it. I'm going to wear this for every day, and I can put some patches over that one, even over this one. That's so nice. You can use older stained up clothing. You know, how many times do you have a shirt where you end up with spilling food on it? It's not a throwaway now. Now you can put a decoration or something there. It's just inspiration. So I'm not going to try to cut past that line. I'm going to start in the middle and of the shirt, approximately the middle. I can see it somewhere here. I'm going to cut up to that line. And then I'm going to cut over. I'm only got one layer here. I'm going to cut over to this side seam and make sure I stop where the side seam is. If your shirt doesn't have a side seam, just put a pin there or mark it where you need to stop. I'm going to cut over this way. And just stop right at that seam. I'm being pretty accurate because I'm going to need to match this piece I'm going to be sewing on. Is going to come right to that side seam. Make sure that I'm right there at that seam. So now I'm going to cut the other way. I'm being careful not to pull too much. This is a thin t-shirt and it will curl, and I don't want to fight it in the machine. Okay, so I'm going to go to that side seam. And now you can see, like if I was to show you the back of it. So we made the cut, and I'm going to show you how that's going to fall on the back side. See? So now all we have to do is add our front piece back in the same length so it falls like that as well. And then we're going to do some embellishing. That's how fast this is going to be. You could take 2 shirts and make one. Imagine your second shirt is one with long sleeves. You could add the long sleeves. You could add a hoodie. This could be men's shirts that you hook together this way. We've made our cut, and we didn't cut all the way through, as you can see. So we've got our back piece. Now we need our front piece. That's going to be, I would make it at least the same size or a little bit smaller. By smaller, I mean this way and this way. So for that, I think I'll use this shirt. For one, it's kind of thin. Like I can't really just wear it and not see through it, and I don't want to layer with it. So I'm going to just take it, and it's just a Walmart Kids actually. It's like a 14, 16 kids, and I thought, you know what I should do with that? It was given to me as well. It's got the pretty gold color in it. Let's make it the front piece, because you know, down on my stomach I really don't care if it's a little bit thin. So for that, I'm actually going to be cutting the whole thing off and be using this whole bottom piece as my front piece. So I do want it about the same length. And then I'm just going to, as soon as I find some chalk, I've lost my chalk, I'm going to make sure it's tall enough. I've got a hemline here. It's okay if it's a little bit shorter. I'm going to be cutting it off about here. And for this time, I'm going to pick this one up. This time I'm going to cut the whole shirt through both layers. So we're just going to lay it out, and since I have a stripe here, I'm just going to follow this stripe. If I can get it to lay out. And we're going to cut all the way through like that. And now I kind of want these to be close to the side, so I'm not going to cut up the side seam. I'm going to cut up somewhere again in the middle, just eyeballing it. And this is going to create our front piece. That will be going, I'll show you basically where it will go. It will go right, when we open it up, when we're done with it, it should be right here, like this. So now we're going to, you could attach this piece 2 different ways. One is you could top stitch it, and I am going to have to fix this. It looks like I got off a little bit there. But I'm going to actually, you can top stitch it, but I think I'm going to do something different. So let me see here. Let me clean that up. Oftentimes when you cut a shirt off straight across, the back side is going to be not perfectly even. Alrighty. Now the best way to do this is to find the center. I'll show it this way. Find the center here and match it with the center here. So let's do that first, and be careful with knits not to overstretch either one, because they will curl and make it really hard. And so here I'm going to put a pin on the center here, and I'm going to find my center here where I'll be sewing that on. And we can do that by just matching our side seams, gently pulling it out. We don't want to pull too hard because this is already curling. It can really give you a headache if you pull it too much. And then I've got my center here, and those are the places we'll be matching. You could also use a chalk marker if you don't want to leave holes. Little bit of holes. Okay, and then we're going to turn from this side here, we're going to turn that down to match the center here. And we're going to pin that together right there where they come together. I'm just going to pull these and use these. By not letting go, you could use clips as well. Go this way. And now we'll be able to start at the center and sew along here like that. We can go ahead and pin it if we want, but you could just start there and just take off sewing. And when we get to where this pivot is, where the side seam is, I'll show you what you would do. Is you're just going to act like it's perfectly straight. And we do have a difference here. Now if I don't like that, and this one comes up too short, I can just add a strip here of something. It'll just add more character to it because it is a little bit longer. So what we would do is when we get to where we cut up from the side here, let's say you're sewing along and you get to that point right here, is you're just going to, once you stop your needle here, you're just going to pull this like this, turn it like this, and keep sewing all the way down like that. I'm going to start at my center point, or somewhere near the center point here, right here, and go this way, and then I'll do the same for the other side. What I do want to do is stop every, 2 to 3 inches and do a back stitch. And make sure you're not, if you're working with knits, do not pull on it like that. And so make sure it's very relaxed. And we're just going to continue. We're just going to keep sewing, and the important thing is, make sure you can see this, is where this turns here, we just want to make sure that we keep the fabric underneath even, so we don't have any holes. So I will come up here to where our side seam is. And then once we get there, I think I'll even reinforce it a little bit, but I'm just going to lift my foot of the sewing machine and make sure that this is going to follow it the rest of the way out. Like that. By back stitching every 2 to 3 inches, if the thread pops, it overstretches, it'll just break between a certain area, and it gives it a lot more strength. And go back to where you started, and just make sure you're matching your fabric from underneath here. I'm just going to make sure I'm following the edge all the way down, not stretching it, stopping and backing up occasionally. We don't want to stretch anything, it'll make it all wavy, and we don't want to do that. We want the fabric to be nice and relaxed. And you have to be careful it's not falling off your table and stretching it and you don't realize it. I actually really like the length of the sleeve on this one. And you can see how nice and finished that hem is by the way we sewed it. And I like actually that the front is shorter than the sides. And so what I'm going to do, instead of adding to the side, I'm going to angle a cut from here up to here. I'm just going to angle a cut and leave it as it is to make these match right here, like that. Okay, I'm going to do something like this for the front. This is kind of thin, so I am going to use, this is not double-sided, like it's not sticky on both sides, just one. I'm going to reinforce this with a piece of iron-on interfacing. This is a very light interfacing. So it's not, because I don't want the shirt to be like heavy in the front. I am going to reinforce it with that before I sew it on. I am going to use a zigzag this time. I've got the cotton on top to help it not stretch. Zigzag will tend to push and stretch your knit if you just sew knit on knit. It will tend to mess with it. So I'm going to sew this patch on first, and then I'll be putting the side pieces on. Super comfortable. I think this technique can be mixed with so many types of upcycles and used in upcycling. I'm really looking forward to incorporating it more in my creations. Just pulling the front, cutting the shirt, cutting to here, and then adding a piece. I think that has so much potential because you could actually add sleeves, add hoodie. You could take a t-shirt, turn it into a really fun, cool hoodie. You could take men's shirts, do the same thing, flare it out, add a piece to the front, do different stuff to the sleeves and the arms. I can see it has great potential. So thank you so much, guys. I hope you enjoyed and got some good out of this video. If you did, please like, share, and subscribe. And I will see you all in the next video. Happy sewing! Bye!